Good afternoon. Good evening. Hi. Welcome to Rooftop Trombone in the age of COVID-19. And today is day number 224. It's actually season 2, day 24. Been doing this 24 days in a row this time around after 106 days in a row back in March, April, May, June. And then a little bit of a vacation because we opened up. Anyway, my name is Bowyer. I'm the Dean of the School of Arts at Sunway University in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's right over there under that sunset. Isn't that gorgeous? Actually, it's a little to the right. It's behind the building, it's behind this building. You can't quite see the university, except you can see part of it. You see part of the university over here, but it's short there. The tall part is behind the tall building. It doesn't matter. We're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where we are on day number 24 of a Conditional Movement Control Order just for this region, the KL metropolitan area, trying to break the back of this second wave of virus infections here in Malaysia, in KL primarily, and also in the state of Sabah, which is over in East Malaysia. By the way, if you didn't know that there's an East Malaysia and a West Malaysia, Google is your friend. And that's enough of that. So, good afternoon. What I've been doing is, for these last 24 days in this Rooftop Trombone version 2, I've been trying to involve some audience participation and some other art forms. And so, about half the nights I've read poetry and used my trombone to comment on that poetry, a la Charlie Brown. The other half of the nights I've presented photographs and used my trombone to comment on those photographs. In both cases, it's all improvisation. And tonight I've got a poem, and it's whoops, I clicked the wrong button. That's the button I wanted. Tonight we have a poem to share, a couple of poems actually, 2 poems. These were not submitted by someone who watched the program and sent them in. These were submitted, I was given permission to use these by the author, but after I saw one of them, the second one, you'll hear 2 of his poems tonight. Lawrence Musburger is his name. Seems like I got that wrong. We'll get his name here in just a second. I saw one of his poems this week in a higher education journal. Inside Higher Ed is the name of it, an online journal that I read, and it was a very cute poem about why he doesn't give extra credit to his students. And I looked him up and found his email address and asked him if he would. I explained what I do here and asked if he would mind me using it, and he said go ahead. In fact, he's got some exciting things that he's been doing since the pandemic started, and he shared those with me, and you should go check them out. tejascovido.org, I think, was one of them. I should have prepared for this, I'm sorry. And anyway, when he gave me permission to use this short poem that I'm going to do second, he also mentioned another one that had been published in the same Inside Higher Ed a year or so ago, and gave me permission to use both of them. So I'm going to do the earlier one first. It's a little bit longer, but it's still pretty short. That's why they work together. And probably it shouldn't be broken up. There are no sentences, there are no stanzas, but I felt like it was just long enough to break it into 3 short sections and give me an opportunity to play trombone. So, first thing we're going to get to is, come on, go ahead now. There it is. Allegiance and Why I Don't Give Extra Credit by Lawrence Musgrove. I knew I had that wrong. Lawrence Musgrove at Angelo State University in Texas. And thank you, Lawrence, for giving me permission to use these. The first one is Allegiance. When I start class with a period of sitting, meditation, and quiet, I often ask my students to put a hand over their hearts so they can feel their chests rising and falling with breath, their bodies beginning to slow, their minds know where to go. And after a while, I go back to my 3rd grade classroom with the other boys and girls all standing, hands on hearts, behind our teacher at her desk, with liberty and justice for all. Words we wear out like the knees in our jeans, the tips of our shoelaces, braids undone, chewing gum. Our teacher, too, tattered a bit. Class after class of us smart alecks and do-gooders and scaredy cats, not so different from those here who sit with me and pledge allegiance to the hearts we got. Thank you. That's Allegiance. And this next one is called, I believe this will go forward by itself, Why I Don't Give Extra Credit. You want me to give you more to do so that I can have more to do because you missed the to-do you were supposed to do before this new to-do you want me to do for you? Thank you, and thank you, Lawrence, for giving me permission to use those. Look him up. He's got. Just look him up. Google is your friend, as I said earlier. If you would like to submit a poem that you've written, or it doesn't have to be original, if you'd like to submit your favorite poem by Emily Dickinson or Robert Frost or William Shakespeare or anyone in the public domain, you can email it to me at rooftoptrombone@gmail.com. Just make sure it's family friendly. Likewise, if you'd like to send images, I'll probably do photographs again tomorrow night. And if you'd like to, you have a phone in your hand right now, send me some photos from your camera roll, and I'll put them in the hopper for possible use tomorrow or the next day or the next day. We do 10 at a time, and that part is even, obviously with the poetry, I have to see it in advance so I can look up the words I don't know. But with the photographs, I don't see them in advance. I have a colleague who curates that for me, and it makes it even more fun for me to try to, on the spot, improvise something based on an image I'm seeing, not for the first time, but certainly for the first time in a while. So anyway, rooftoptrombone@gmail.com. I hope you'll send me something. We're going to keep doing this at least another week, probably another month, probably 6 more months. I don't know. How long is this thing going to last? But maybe until we run out of poetry in the world. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to bid you adieu.